to week 5 of the Go Healthy program. Today we're going to discuss the success of last week's assignment. We're going to discuss the topic for today, which is calorie density, and focusing on eating more and weighing less. We'll talk about the calorie density definition. We'll discuss high calorie versus low calorie dense foods. We'll give some examples of calorie density foods. We'll discuss the next week's assignment and introduce next week's topic. Also, just a reminder, make sure you get your Go Healthy tracker in. All right, so last week we talked about applying all the minimum fundamentals every day. So we've talked about all 5 of them so far. So the goal now is to make sure that you are meeting those fundamentals daily. So, of course, using the guide to smart food choices, making sure you're getting 5 servings of fruits and vegetables in a day, drinking at least 64 ounces of water a day, practicing portion control using the MyPlate tips for proteins, grains, and dairy. For protein, you want to vary your protein routine. For grains, you want to make half of your grains whole grains. And for dairy, you want to move to low fat or fat free. For physical activity, the goal is to get 30 to 60 minutes in a day. So what fundamental or fundamentals have you increased since last week? Take a second and think about that. What have you been working on pretty hard and have had the opportunity to increase? All right, so we're going to jump into our topic for today. Oh, go back. Okay. So calorie density. What is calorie density? Calorie density is the number of calories in a given volume or weight of food. So this is the basis of the guide to smart food choices. It is based on calorie density. So there are high calorie dense foods and low calorie dense foods. So what's the difference? So with high calorie dense foods, they contain a high number of calories in a small volume or weight of food. These are typically your highly processed foods and have added fat and added sugar. So when you think about that, think about fatty meats, fried foods, sugary desserts and beverages, processed snacks, alcohol, which includes beer, wine, and liquor. It is found in the occasional food column of your guide to smart food choices. Something that I do want to make note for everyone, there are high calorie dense foods that are nutritious. So even though they have a high calorie density, they are still nutritious, and they include dried fruit, avocados, nuts and seeds, and oils such as olive, canola, etc. So with these foods, if you find these in your guide to smart food choices, these foods are in your portion control. So they're not foods that you have to have just occasionally, but you do want to practice portion control because of the high calorie density. So the goal for high calorie dense food is to limit them as much as possible. You don't have to completely get rid of them in your diet, but the goal is to limit them. So again, going back, the examples include fatty meats, fried foods, sugary desserts and beverages, processed snacks, alcohol, which includes beer, wine, and liquor. Okay, so that was the high calorie dense foods. Let's talk about the low calorie dense foods. So low calorie dense foods contain a low number of calories and a large volume or weight of food. For these, you can eat more and feel fuller on fewer calories. They typically are your whole unprocessed foods, which includes whole fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean animal proteins, low fat or fat free dairy products without added sugars, and unsweetened beverages. The low calorie dense foods can be found in your anytime food column of the Guide to Smart Food Choices. And the goal for low calorie dense foods is to consume more. Again, you want to consume more of the low calorie dense foods. And examples of low calorie dense foods include whole fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean animal protein, low fat or fat free dairy products without added sugars, and unsweetened beverages. And these are found in your anytime food column of your Guide to Smart Food Choices. All right. So here are some examples of the volume of food eaten for the same amount of calories. In the first picture, we have blueberries, which is 1 1/4 cup. That's 100 calories. For broccoli, you have 5 cups, which equals 100 calories. For almonds, there's 15 almonds that equals 100 calories. And then for bacon, there's 2 slices, which equals 100 calories. So can you guess which two are low calorie dense foods? Give you a minute to look on the page and think about it. Blueberries and broccoli are the low calorie dense foods. Which two are high calorie dense foods? Of course, the last two that are left. One is healthy and one is not. So if you remember from when we talked about the high calorie dense foods, the nuts are the healthy, the bacon is the not so healthy one. So I like these images because it shows, the different food groups at 100 calories. And if you see, you get more of the low calorie dense foods based on those calories. All right, so here I have another example of what 660 calories looks like. So there's two plates. We have plate A and plate B. If you look on plate A, there is a Dunkin' glazed chocolate donut and a Snickers bar. So that's 660 calories. Now let's look at plate B. So plate B, you have boiled broccoli, asparagus, grilled salmon, a roasted sweet potato, and Brussels sprouts. This is 660 calories. So you get more on plate B than plate A, and this goes back to the low calorie density versus the high calorie density. All right. So this week's assignment is to focus on consuming most of your foods and beverages from the anytime category. Take a moderate amount of food and beverages from the portion control category and very limited amount of foods and beverages from the occasional category. And of course, continue to meet all minimum fundamentals every day. Next week, we're going to be talking about reading food labels. So we'll jump more into that information about how to look at a food label, even past what we've talked about, just identifying those food products and what category they fall in. So last but not least, your Go Healthy tracker If you have not turned that in, please make sure you get that in today, or as soon as possible. And then we will have the Healthy Tracker that will be due on the day of next class. So that's all that I have for you all. As always, if you ever have any questions, you can always send me an email. It's ARIEL.V as in Victor, INCENT hyphen DOE at bmhcc.org if you have any questions about the information we went over today. But that is all that I have. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you.